Hello, we are live. Have not done this in like 2-3 years. We're back. All right, let's dive in. So, this is the first time, well, maybe the second time I'm going live doing this on YouTube in many years, but bear with me here. This is going to be something we do on Mondays at 9 a.m. This is a beginner's watercolor intuitive painting workshop. And this is a really nice watercolor set I've got. But you can use a Crayola watercolor set from like the drugstore or wherever. And those should be, just a couple dollars or so. You could also use some supplies, some ketchup or mustard or anything you've got in your fridge, and you can use your fingers. But really, the idea is that you're going to use whatever you've got and attempt some painting today. So I'm going to be using watercolor, and I'm going to teach in a way where you would be using watercolor or whatever paint you've got, okay? I've got some basic watercolor paper here, and got my water. So I'll set this up so you can see here. My water. I'm left-handed, and so I put my stuff usually on the left-hand side, like this. Okay, and then I've got my brushes. These are my favorite watercolor brushes. This one's a cool new one, Princeton Quill. It's a 6. See that? Really love this one. And this is a pinstriping brush, so we're going to play with this. These are all natural hair bristles. Can't remember the name of this, but what's it say here? This is also Princeton, a 4. Okay. So the first thing I like to do is you can just dip your brush in the water and get them all wet. Or you can use some kind of like spray water and spray some water into your paints. And now for the intuitive painting part. This is where we focus on your intentions for the piece. What are you wanting to cultivate energetically for yourself? Do you want to create something that is representative of the feelings you have today, or a feeling you're reaching for today? So tune into that. For me, let's do something where we're reaching for a higher vibration feeling than we feel right now, like just pure inspiration. Okay, how do we cultivate more creative inspiration in our energy for today? That will be the theme. Okay, so you're going to close your eyes, take a few deep breaths, and focus on the energy in your body right now. Allowing each breath to cleanse anything that feels stressful or worrisome or overwhelming for today or this week ahead. Taking a few deep breaths, releasing it. And in your next inhale, breathing in into the new space, creative inspiration. All kinds of creative, inspiring ideas are flowing in to your mind, into your heart, into your body. And you're going to let that all well up in your heart space and visualize it pouring out through your arms and your hands. Staying focused on creative inspiration. Now you're going to just take your brush and pick one color, the first color you're drawn to, that symbolizes that for you. Adding more water will make your paint flow more. Anytime your brush feels dry, just add more water. And you're going to do, with one next exhale, a expression energetically of creative inspiration. Okay? And then just keep adding to that. Letting that flow. You can change the colors. And the whole idea of intuitive painting is that it is not about the outcome, at least not yet. It is only about the experience and falling in love with the natural organic rhythms and movements you're making in connection to your intentions. And the way the paints or the materials you're working with, how they move. You're becoming one with the paint, with the color, with the energy of that intention. You can see how it changes when you add more water or you add more pigment, how it blends together, it bleeds through the paper. You can pull color from puddles on your page, just like I did there. And in the splatters, pulling out the color, making new shapes with it. So intuitive painting, remember, there are no rules to it. Is not something to analyze, criticize, or put boundaries around. It is 100% the most free place you get to be in your whole life. Just focusing on that intention of creative inspiration and allowing the feeling of that to draw you to the colors and movements you make, not fully consciously choosing. You're getting into a rhythm, a flow, just adding lines, movements, textures intuitively. Trusting that everything that comes out of you is perfect and divinely guided and not something to judge, criticize, or even analyze yet. Analyzing really comes in the later stages after you've gone through a long session of intuitive painting. That's how it is for me. I start all my paintings in this form, even if it's just with a quick acrylic wash or watercolor wash. And then I begin to build that up over time with more conscious, intentional painting. But that's after this intuitive process, because that really lays the foundation for the painting and what it will evolve into. And also, intuitive painting for me is a really great way to warm up for larger pieces. So if I'm feeling like rusty that day or out of flow, coming into this intuitive process, painting, intuitive intention painting, focusing on your intention and then seeing what comes through. It's like a warm up to a more intense workout or to, running an actual marathon. You would do warm ups before that. But you're really just coming into presence and honed in, focused attention on how the water and the paint is connecting, repelling, puddling up, moving and connecting and talking to all the different lines and shapes and movements you're making. Just totally falling in love with the present moment. Even when the paint seems to begin to dry, how does it react when you add more water or more pigment, loading up your brush with more pigment? So every Monday I'm going to be doing this, and it will expand into more focused, intentional, intuitive painting. So set an alarm, ring the bell here, subscribe, and you will be able to join me really easily live here on YouTube on Mondays at 9 a.m. Pacific time. I'm in Los Angeles, so I'm starting at 9 here. And you can ask me any questions you want in the chat too. So maybe you practice this, watch this a few times throughout the week to warm up. And some questions arise. Bring your questions next week. Pop them in the chat and I'll answer all of them for you. Or if you have a special request of something for me to focus on or teach in our live painting workshops, just let me know. And then also on Monday evenings, keep an eye out too. On YouTube, I'll be posting a new meditation for artists, creatives, intuitives to boost their creativity and create more creative inspiration and peace in their lives. So each week, the idea is that each week you'll get this new meditation that you can listen to every night for the whole week. That's the challenge. That's the full experience there. Listen to it every night for the whole week, and then report back to me the following Monday morning in our live session, our live painting workshops, and let me know how you feel. If you feel any different, if your creativity has been boosted, and if you're having new revelations, ideas, inspirations. And I'm just so excited to see how those really affect and spark your creative expression, because meditation, guided meditation, is how I began my creative process. It's how I alleviated anxiety, and how painting really transformed my art practice and my whole life. So I want you to have that experience too. So that's why I'm making these every week, these meditations and these live painting workshops. So you can really cultivate your intuitive creativity and have that really flow into all the different aspects of your life. And then if you want to show me what you made, just tag, if you post a picture on Instagram, you can tag me and also send me a picture of what you created at Justine Art Studio on Instagram. And I'll try to repost it. So there's a lot of texture here. This is a representation of creative inspiration, the energy of that for me. And I'm sure yours will look really different, and I would be so excited to see that. So please feel free to share that with me. And join me Mondays live here on YouTube, so we can connect and inspire more intuitive, inspiring creativity into our lives together. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next week.